is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path.
First reading. A reading from the prophet Ezekiel, chapter 1, verse 2 to 5, and verse 24 to 28. On the 5th day of the 4th month of the 5th year, that is, of King Jehoiakim's exile, the word of the Lord came to the priest Ezekiel, the son of Buzi, in the land of the Chaldeans by the river Chebar. There the hand of the Lord came upon me. As I looked, a storm wind came from the north. A huge cloud with flashing fire enveloped in brightness, from the midst of the fire, something gleamed like electrum. Within it were figures resembling 4 living creatures that looked like this. Their form was human. Then I heard the sound of their wings, like the roaring of mighty waters, like the voice of the Almighty. When they moved, the sound of the tumult was like the din of an army. And when they stood still, they lowered their wings. Above the firmament over their heads, something like a throne could be seen, looking like sapphire. Upon it was seated, up above, one who had the appearance of a man. Upward from what resembled his waist, I saw what gleamed like electrum. Downward from what resembled his waist, I saw what looked like fire. He was surrounded with splendor, like the bow which appears in the clouds on a rainy day, was the splendor that surrounded him. Such was the vision of the likeness of the glory of the Lord. The word of the Lord. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Matthew, chapter 17, verses 22 to 27. As Jesus and his disciples were gathering in Galilee, Jesus said to them, "The Son of Man is to be handed over to men, and they will kill him, and he will be raised on the 3rd day." And they were overwhelmed with grief. When they came to Capernaum, the collectors of the temple tax approached Peter and said, "Does not your teacher pay the temple tax?" "Yes," he said. When he came into the house, before he had time to speak, Jesus asked him, "What is your opinion, Simon? From whom do the kings of the earth take tolls or census tax? From their subjects or from foreigners?" When he said, "From foreigners," Jesus said to him, "Then the subjects are exempt, but that we may not offend them. Go to the sea, drop in a hook, and take the first fish that comes up. Open its mouth, and you will find a coin worth twice the temple tax. Give that to them for me and for you." The Gospel of the Lord.
Being a priest myself, at times my role as a priest, it would never change. But given the situation, with the role of this priesthood, at times I have to change my nature. When I go home and visit my family, there to my mother, I am her son. And when I am with my brother priests or my classmates would be, then I am a brother to them. And when I am in a parish or institution, there I am the head of that institution, or would be the parish priest or the assistant parish priest. And for the people, I am a shepherd. And on the other hand, when I meet the priest who have taught me, for them, then I am there a student priest. But this nature of being a priest or the calling of being a priest, it will never change. But according to the situation, the way I act, and the way I have this relationship or I have the dealings with the people, they change. On the same manner, today, Jesus once again, as he is nearing to his passion, death and resurrection, as he is nearing to Jerusalem, for the second time we hear in the Gospel of St. Matthew that Jesus is prophesying about his passion, death and resurrection. And here we come across the two natures of Jesus. Once he says, Son of Man will be delivered into the hands of men and they will kill him. On the other hand, Jesus says, but he will rise on the third day. Of course, as a Son of Man, as a human, he will undergo this passion and death, but he will be resurrected. He will be resurrected as the Son of God. Thereby, Jesus, knowing his role as a Son of Man, he instructed Peter to go out and pay taxes, because he is on this earth and he is bound by the law and the tradition of the earth. And on the other hand, Jesus, he is ready to pay the taxes for the human salvation by offering himself on the cross. Thereby, as Jesus himself, he realized who is he and what is his role on earth, and at this given situation, how to act. All of us need to know this very beautiful concept. Who am I and what is the role that I have to act at the given situation? If I realize it, if I know that correctly, then, my dear friends, we would always be a follower of Jesus Christ himself.